Howdy folks, today I've got a lesson on 3 fairly easy Jimi Hendrix tunes. First, his cover of Wild Thing. Then his cover of Hey Joe. And also his tune, Spanish Castle Magic. Let's get into it. All right, first we've got Wild Thing. This was a cover that Jimmy did. This was the tune that he played at Monterey Pop right before he set his guitar on fire and blasted it into pieces. So here we go. First we have an A chord, D, E, back to D. Now what you're doing there is kind of like chicka. That same kind of chicka or just the space left there. So you kind of want those chicks in there to give it a little bit more action, you know. Could be just extra strums, or you can kind of have some of that pig scratching stuff. Now that's like a G to A, G to A. So you got a slight bend, like a quarter step bend on this G here on the big string, to the A power chord. You're gonna hold that out. Basically we do that about 4 times. Sometimes he would stop and say something kind of funny. You move me. Back to the first part. Wild thing. You make my heart sing. You make of everything groovy. Wild thing, etc. Okay, so let's do that together. 2, 3, 4. Try the other part. Two, three. 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 You move me. Look out. Okay, so that was Wild Thing. We're going to move on to Hey Joe. Here goes the intro. Okay, so we have this hammer on here, 3rd to 5th on the B string, but we also want to have those fingers so high that we can hear this little E string open. So we got the hammer on, back to the 3 and open, so you can really hear those two going together. You don't want to get that one muted where you only hear one. It's not as big. Now we're going to have this middle finger on the 4th fret of the G. Quick slide down to the 2, pull off to the open, to that E note. So we got. And I'm just muting that A there so I could use that same finger. You could switch to a full E chord there. And then we're making this shape here, which we're going to need up here, these 2 fingers. So we got big E, E chord. 2 more E's. So that's these 5s on the 5th string and 4th string. To the 4s, to the 2s. Okay, so one more time. So you end that with a big E and then the chord. So one more time. we have this little riff here. So that's the D string, 7 to 9, down to the 7th fret of the G string. So you just do the same thing twice, and then we're going to end on this 9th fret of the D string and slide that down. And then we get into a C chord, to G, D, A, and then A, G. So we hit the A power chord, or the A chord, and we're going to go to that G note there and give it a slight bend on that, to the E. So that riff is 2 on the A string to the D string open, and then back, and then the E note there in the 2nd fret of the D string. And there's a couple beats after you got to count after that to get back into it. So from the C, we got. There's another way to do it. You could do that same, where you did the 2-0, 2-0, 2. You could go 7-5, 7-5, 7. And that's also the riff from A Whole Lot of Love. Think they heard the Jimi Hendrix one or not? Okay, so let's see. Let's look at that again. We got the C. Let's count that in. 3 and 4 and. You kind of fill the space with some little riff like that. So what I did there was just kind of a 4-3 open. Pentatonic stuff. Here goes a little solo. Okay, so that started with this bend on the 15th fret of the B string. So that went to the little 12. 15, 12. You got your bend and pull off on that 14, 12 on the G to the D string and back. You got a bend there on that 14 with the 15 underneath. You could do it a few different ways. So once again, we got. And then we're going to slide into this 14 on the A string. And then, of course, we hammer the D and get down to that little G note. Couple bends on that. So that one is. So 12, 15, 12. Bend in the 14, 12, 12. And then. So bend on the 14 and 12, 12. To that lower note. So from the whole thing. And now here's a new part. So that's the high string 15. Okay, so pentatonic stuff, fairly easy. There's one more cool thing with this. 1, 2, 3 on the big string, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 back on the A, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the E, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or you could hit the open there in the E, because that's the E note. So once again. You also double hit it. Okay, and then we're gonna have Spanish Castle Magic. Now this one starts with the E note here. It's gonna go 2, 2, 0. So it goes down that kind of E power chord, those notes. And then you got this 4, the C sharp note on the A string. So we got 2, 2, 0, 4. And sometimes it goes to that same string, and sometimes it goes down here. So we got. And then you want to pop up here and upstroke these top 2 open strings. Okay, so if you go nice and slow, that's fairly easy. So I'm going like these 2 2s here, part of this A power chord, and then the A bass note itself, and then this 4th fret of the D string, this F sharp. And same thing, you could go to that same string, or you go to the string below for the. And we're still hitting those 2 open strings, so we got. Now here, this is a cool little riff to add, going from the A back to the E. So 2, 4, 2, 4, and then back to your. So let's look at that one more time. We got the. And then we have these final chords. G sharp power chord, F sharp power chord. Okay, so let's go over all that one more time. So we got the first thing. And there's a tricky chord here if you wanted to add one. So this is like 4, 3, 4, and the opens on the bottom. But you kind of got to get that middle finger on that note to make it happen. So I flipped it over there. So that's just the added one. And then we got. Let me do it again. Now we're going to the A. All right, that was Spanish Castle Magic by Jimi Hendrix. We had Wild Thing, we had Hey Joe, we had Spanish Castle Magic. Hendrix tunes are very complicated, so these are 3 of the sort of simplest, fairly simplest ones that you can find out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for watching Damon Wood Guitar Lessons. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions or requests. Thanks a lot. Take care. See you soon.